No, brothers and sisters, and welcome to my page. My page is common sense. I try to keep it down and nitty-gritty. Under live 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, I'm very far. And now I'm pointing. The liberals, libertarians, people who believe in God, people who like to smoke, people like ayahuasca, people like DMT, people that's basically are 90% of you. Masses. You listeners' discretion is advised. Today's sponsoring, I'm sponsoring Stacks, okay, for free, okay, ladies. I love salt and vinegar vigors. Y'all should go get some. You gotta catch them all, Pokemon. Now, the first time, I know it may taste sour and shit, and I may sound cringy and weird and shit like that, but I have a special condition higher than most of y'all's, okay? I'm on a higher level of frequency. Most of you can't understand me. Get the hell out of here. It's a 9 out of 10. I love salt and vinegar chips, okay? And of course, even though it has chemicals in it, we all gonna die from some sort of poison anyway. So people are too attached to the flesh, okay? Salt and vinegar, y'all should try it. 9 out of 10. It's approved. But today's topic if you have any comments, questions, insults, or roast, you put it down below. Definitely more funnier than Dave Chappelle, but of course it's subjective matter to those individuals who like white humor. I am not on the white humor side. I had two menage a trois in my life. Please. I talk about my personal life just like Cat Williams, but I'm not funnier than Cat Williams, however, okay? I know Cat Williams is a bit higher than Eddie Griffin, Eddie Murphy. Those motherfuckers are definitely more funnier than Kevin Hart's and Dave Chappelle's any day, okay? I don't give a fuck about their history and their careers. It's just my opinion, and of course, it's not subjective, because what I say is the goddamn truth. Most of y'all don't even know what fucking white humor and black humor is. Okay, but let's get on with the subject now here. This subject is, I'm going to try to title it differently. I'm going to say, Negroes and Indians, okay. You know, I'm run across this video chat somebody sent me to. I joined it. I'm the Emerald Pill man, by the way. My peanut head, who's a porn star and shit. People, I told you, women don't look at looks all like that no more. You know, the women's nature is very simple to me. It's not very hard. You just got this sense of charm. You gotta have some peanuts and pockets. You'll be okay. I'm an 80s type of guy, learned and very skilled. Okay? I'm a pickup artist. I don't give people a lot of advice for pickup artists and shit like that, because it comes naturally or it doesn't. If it doesn't come naturally, you're gonna have a hard time with women. You just have to go overseas. And you could be like a hippopotamus, a white hippopotamus and shit, and fuck all sorts of dime pieces out there. But you may have to pay for it because you don't have no charm, you got no personality. But that's beside the point. I digress here. We're going to talk about Indians and Negroes. Okay, I had to go, because I know YouTube, they're going to put my shit on age restricted, or they're going to pull it down. Okay, I swear to God, man, I'm tired of meeting hoteps. I was on this video chat, and these guys are talking about Islamophobia and shit like that, and they stayed on it all day like they're more superior. For some reason, their vibrations was very low, and I was talking to them about shapeshifters, different alien species, and people who need to feed off of baby blood, and alien species that's hiding in the woods, creatures of the mist, okay, will of wisp, okay, and the people, they don't want to hear none of that shit. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm a Moor. I'm a fucking Moor, man. I'm like, oh my fucking God. They wanted to ask me questions. When I left, they wanted to ask me so many questions about my strap-on dildo fucking, how I got paid and all that shit. I told you before, I'm not a pickup artist teacher, but I can be. Either you got it or you don't. All right? Okay. Me, I have charm, and I have different ways and methods and using dark psychology to get in a woman's panties, no matter how old and desperate she is. And I get paid. Okay, there's no such thing as me raping it, because I don't do shit like that. I don't like touching used vaginas. I'll inspect your pussy and get it right. I will get it right. I'll get it right. But let's get on with the subject now. I'm doing all that as a distraction and diversion here, so my video won't get pulled down, because I made it before. It said Negroes and fucking Indians. Now, the difference between Negroes and Indians is that the Indians is almost exterminated. Native Americans, yes, they're almost exterminated. Those are the true warriors. They wasn't going to stand for shit. And all the Africans that the Europeans was using over here, please don't understand, this country is built by white people. It doesn't matter if it's off the backs of black people, okay? I'm not trying to be a coon. Now, I've been called coon before. I'm just saying, when I lived in Brooklyn, New York, and Bed-Stuy, I heard too many shootings, and I walked around those fucking Bed-Stuy, Brownsville, Kingston neighborhoods, and I said to them straight up off the words, I said, you know they're using you, right? You sitting on the porch, and the Italians don't even respect you. Let the niggers do it. That's what they say, quote unquote, right? Capiche? Because I have a little Italian in my blood, amazingly, right? So I'm like, they just ignore me and say, yo, you could be your boss and shit. Like, no, you be your own boss. You don't need to be doing drugs, slinging people to put them down under the ground. Even though if they're using drugs, I'm gonna say this. If people want to be so pathetic and shit and use drugs like in the 60s to the 70s and shit, like, let them kill themselves, okay? That's what I felt. I said, you might as well let them niggas kill each other, okay? Let them Negroes kill each other, all right? Now, there's a difference between Indian, Native Americans, and Africans, okay? Now, the lineage may have been thin out over time because the Caucasoid has thought about this in the 1600s, all the way back. They said, let's merge with the Bloods. And before that time, they said, no, it's illegal to, the Vikings thought about this. We don't merge with more beautiful species than ourselves. We must keep our peoples within ourselves. That's how they thought. The Vikings, Anglo-Saxons, I'm going to talk about this shit because that was factual, okay? Back in the days, right? Vikings and Anglo-Saxons, they forbid you sleeping with any colored person. It's called mixing of the bloods. And since they thought about that shit was weighing down with the Romans and the Greeks and the romanticized intellectualism. And one thing lead to another. Now we have America, motherfuckers. Okay, now black people have different attributes than white people. White people have different attributes than black people. Asian people, all these type of people are still living because they're strong type of species, right? But nobody knows that we came from different planets. Nobody cares about that possibility or possibility. It doesn't matter. White people came from Mars. I don't give a flying monkey's ass. But if you allow your peoples to be brought over in the graves, what do you call it? The Charlie Slip lollipop boat, okay? And you got all your people and you all suffering and shit, and you're just picking cotton and you didn't like it. It's time to stand up. It's time to fight. Okay? It's time to stand up and fight. But they didn't. So now their ancestors, people who are merged bloods, who are not fully African now, are complaining about our lineage, that we are owed reparations. There are people like that out there. I'm telling you right now. And I don't feel I need a reparation at all, man. I was never a fucking slave. I'm just trying to say this to you, right? So my ancestors, I don't know who my ancestors are, and I frankly do not care. Because what about your next life? What if you become a white person in your next life? You don't think about reincarnation, dog? I've talked to countless crackers who basically felt that they were black, and they got some black heebie-jeebies in them and shit. They got heebie-jeebies, and they're black. Okay? They do weird shit just like the cracker do it. That's weird. Like, there's white people who act like they're white. Okay? And there's white people who act like they're black. Nobody's picking up on this pattern. Nobody knows about this. Nobody's talking about this. What the hell is going on with society? How come? What happened to the open-minded, free range of intellectuals out there who just basically kind of keep things nitty-gritty and narrow things down with the possibilities and probabilities of an agnostic, okay? Nobody thinks about this. But you know why the Native Americans are extinct? Because they fought like warriors. They will not be slaves today. They will not be slaves. But blacks, Africans, heritage, whatever, basically became slaves, and they was slaves for over 400 years. Come on, man. That's a very weak thing to do. That's a choice. Kanye West said it. It's a choice. Okay? Just like if you watch the movie called V for Vendetta, the spirit of V, I'm sorry to ruin it, but that movie's really old. The spirit of Vendetta, all the people who died, and he was also an experiment as well, and it was successful. He came back and gave the motherfucking Germans. He killed those science Germans. Okay? He killed, with the killing of the Jews and shit, the Holocaust. That V for Vendetta is representation of the revenge of the spirit. And he was being experimented on. And it was successful. And he escaped again. So if you watch V for Vendetta, which is a great-ass movie. Even that girl from Star Wars played in it. I don't know her name. Okay. She played as Anakin Skywalker's wife. Okay. Okay. But anyway, my memory is not all too tight. But I got it there. I got it now here. And everybody wanted to be free, and they was under a patriarch and shit. Strict, too strict, okay? But please understand this. I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan, goddamn it, motherfuckers. I make my own goddamn porn, and I fucked them with the strap on, and I got paid. That's my past. You don't have to believe me. 13 women I killed under my belt. That don't mean I killed no 13 women, but they might come after me, okay? I'm the fucking Zodiac killer. I'm the fucking Jack the Ripper of those bitches. But anyway, it's all a choice. And so we got African Americans who can actually leave the country at will, who's worth over $2 trillion. That's what African Americans are worth. Are you out of your fucking mind? You complaining and bitching? The only individuals who are owed reparations are those people who are wrongly incarcerated till this day. That's what I believe. Truthfully, no African Americans deserve reparations because I lived in the African American community. All right, so please understand, I'm not your average man. If you have any comments, questions, insults, or references, you put it down below. I've got 10 minutes, and that's all I just wanted to say. There's nothing racist or anything like that. It's up to the debate. It's conversational. Peace.